Hi guys, welcome to Abroademy. I hope you all are doing great. So we are just starting with the webinar in another 2 or 3 minutes. We are waiting for some more participants to join. So I hope it is fine for you. And before we start with the webinar, let me just give you a quick refresher. Hey guys, welcome to Abroademy. I hope you all are doing great. So we are just Okay, guys. So let me just introduce you one of our student, Aftab, who has joined us today. Hi, Aftab. Can you unmute yourself?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Aftab. Please turn on your camera. We would like to see the view of Italy right now. All right. So we have Aftab. I would like to give a quick intro about him. So basically, he's a final year bachelor student in data science at the University of Messina, Italy. And Aftab today will be sharing his first-hand journey of, studying, living, and growing in Italy, along with honest tips and real insights for all the students out there planning to study abroad in Italy. So I hope, Aftab, you're all set to answer all the questions that people are having today.
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Okay. So Aftab, before we start with the things, so guys, let me just tell you, you will not be allowed to unmute in this meeting. So what you have to do is like whatever questions you have, you can just drop it in the chat box and we will take it up one by one.
Yep.
And guys, whatever things we are talking, let's make it little bit interactive. You can show, a thumbs up, you can give emoticons and all. So it is easy for us to understand and take it forward. All right.
Sure.
So Aftab, firstly, I would like to understand when you started with your, this study in Italy journey, how the
Yep.
process was like. How excited were you? How nervous you were? Because generally we have
Sure.
been seeing students facing that kind of problems.
Sure, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So from the very beginning, I never mentioned this thing before, but like I finished my schooling in 2019 itself. And then since that, I was trying to move out. So first, I tried to go to Germany. I got the offer letters and everything, but it was super expensive. Then again, I sort of to go for loans and stuff, but again, the COVID thing happened, so I couldn't do it. Then again, once the COVID finished in 2021, I think as you remember, we started the procedures in January itself, and we went through everything. If I'm correct, I think I got the offer letter in around 2 months, and then we just fast forwarded everything, the visa, the scholarship, and like the documentation, everything. It was quite an adventure for me because as we rushed, I was running here and there to get everything done. But honestly, it was quite nice. I would say this: I made quite a lot of friends. I met quite a lot of people. It was a good adventure, I could say. The whole
Right.
procedure.
Yeah, I know how excited you were with, excited. In fact, I would say that you were quite nervous also. I don't know how the process would be. Paying to the consultant
Yes.
was the biggest hurdle, I believe, that you always had in the
Yes.
first go.
Yes, ma'am. That was the thing. Like my family was all the whole time. My family was being like, "Why do you have to pay right now? Pay them later. You're gonna go there anyhow."
Right,
Like,
right.
yeah, sure, but like, let's go according to them. Let's try out. Let's see what happens. And it worked out completely well. So I'm
Okay.
happy for that.
That's nice. That's nice. I hope the services that were offered by Abroademy to you were pretty much up to your expectation, I would rather say.
I would say it was much better than I expected because before the other one in Germany, it was too much of a, like, you can say, communication gap that I did go there. I gave them the money and everything. I got response from them like after 6 months. So that was like something that I was looking out for, and I got quite good response from the team. So I'm happy about that.
I know, Aftab, the day you got your offer letter, you were totally like, इतनी जल्दी आ गया. You were not able to even imagine that things were moving at such a fast pace for you.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so Aftab, let's move forward. I have the very first question. So Khushi is asking, I want to know that does Italy provides free education for international students through scholarships?
Yes. Okay. The thing is, the Italian scholarship is specifically mentioned for all the students who are coming. It's just for the students itself. So if you're coming for any program, bachelor's, master's, even for a diploma, you will get the scholarship because the scholarship is a regional scholarship helping the students out to study without any problems. They are helping out with your tuition fees, they are helping out with your accommodation, they are even giving you a stipend to help with your own personal expenses, and they are also giving you food so you can survive here well.
All right. So, guys, whosoever has joined right now, a quick refresher to all of you. Whatever questions you have, you'll not be allowed to unmute in this meeting. You can just drop it in the chat box and we will pick it up one by one. And please be little quick because Aftab is there with us for another 1 hour. All right. So, Aftab, now please tell me, generally, when we counsel students, the students have this kind of doubt that why is only IELTS mandatory? Or maybe, when we talk about UK, when we talk about other destinations, therein IELTS is not that required. So, is IELTS
Mhm.
actually required to study in Italy?
Yes, the thing is, IELTS is mandatory to apply and to study here. But the thing is, for IELTS, the requirement only comes because the basic teaching program in Italy was in Italian language. So I have a few friends who even came here like long before me, and they came here as for Italian programs. And after a year or 2 years, when the university started with the English programs, they switched into the English programs. It is just because the university needs a proof that you are fluent in the language that the university is going to teach you in. So for the English one, usually before it used to take place that if you give your MOA, like MOI, sorry, video form of instruction, by that the university used to accept it. But since now the thing is, many students were there not being a racist, not saying anything bad towards anyone, but a few of the students were here like such who didn't knew a bit of English and they came here just on the basis of the MOI. And once they were here, they faced many challenges to accommodate the English language over here. So just to eradicate that measure, the university put this rule that every student coming to Italy has to do the IELTS exam. Just to show like the basic that you have the English knowledge and you can study and survive here.
All right. So, Aftab, I think Kushi, the answer was pretty easy and very simple that Aftab, gave it. Apart from that, Aftab, I wanted to know, like, generally when we counsel parents, because they have to send their
Mhm.
kids abroad. So, you went for your bachelor's, right?
Yeah.
How nervous, how, panicked you were and your parents were when you were, going to a different land altogether. You were not aware about anything out there. So
Yes.
kind of, hurdles, or I should say, what kind of challenges that you faced out there?
Okay, the thing is, for me, when I came here, it was quite early for Italy adapting to the English courses. So we just had the courses in English, and not much people of the locals they couldn't speak the English language. So in the beginning, we were using like the translate, the Google Translate, to go everywhere and do everything. But the people are super nice over here, so they helped us along. Other than that, my family they were quite stressed in the beginning. Like for the first 2 3 months, they were like, "What do you want to do? What you have to do? The documentation. You have to go for the visas or whatnot, and this and that." They were like 2 3 months. They were like super worried. But like once I settled down, they were like quite eased up. They were like, "Oh, okay, now you know everything. Now you know about the places, the university." Even I met a few people from the university who are like working in the university inside offices, and they personally came down to help us with the documentation and whatnot. So it was once everything was settled, it was quite easy to like accommodate and everything.
Okay, and what about the job market out there? So basically, when you have to go for the part-time work out there in Italy, do you actually need to learn Italian language? One major question that I think every parent generally asks, or maybe students
Yeah.
even ask.
Yeah. Okay. So for the Italian languages, it's for right now in the current time, it's more like if you can learn, it's always a benefit for you to add on a foreign language in your CV. And again, talking to the communicating to the locals is quite easier. But again, it's not mandatory to learn for part time jobs. You can get jobs that don't require an Italian. Even for the basics, once you are here, you learn the quite basics, even you can survive with that. But for full time jobs, if you're going for an Italian only company, there they will ask you for Italian language because the whole work environment is going to be in Italian. So there they will ask you for Italian certificate. And if you have it, it's fine. If you don't, then also it's fine. But usually, what people do here for full time jobs is they come here, come to Italy, they do their bachelor's or master's, and they move to another European country and work there. And in the other countries, for now, at this moment, there is no such requirement of learning the local language or anything. So, like, you can survive with English itself. I think you're on mute, ma'am. Yeah.
So, Aftab, I'm so sorry there was a technical glitch. So now, am I audible, Aftab? Aftab,
Hello?
am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, so Aftab, we have another question. So a person wants to know, scholarship is 100%. This is what, everyone has been telling people. So
Mhm.
what is like what they want to know about the accommodation in that case? Do they have to pay? I think the question is this only. They have written half of it.
Okay, ma'am. The thing is, for accommodation, you don't have to pay for anything. It's included with your scholarship. But to go for the hostel, we just need to pay the security deposit, such that saying that you will not destroy the property of the university. So if you do any damage to them, you are liable to pay for it. So for that, they take a security deposit that's like 15,000 or 20,000 INR in the beginning, and with that, you can move into the university hostel itself. And talking about the hostels are quite specific according to uh in a building. They have like the university have a whole building, and that building the university makes small flats of like 3 rooms and 4 rooms. In those rooms, they have single rooms and double rooms itself, and they give you either a single room completely, or like they give you a sharing room with someone else. Usually, the university gives the single room itself.
This question.
Hi, Nakia. I think you have posted some questions over there in the chat box. So could you please send the same question to the co-host so that I could read the question and could able to answer your queries? Hi. So Nakia has asked the question, what is the total cost along with visa process cost? What is a 100% scholarship? Aftab, can you hear me?
Unmute.
Yeah, Aftab, can
Yeah,
you
ma'am.
hear me?
Yeah, ma'am, I can.
Should I repeat the question?
No, ma'am, I got it. The total costing for the whole process is around I would say, including the scholarship and your expenses that you bear once you come here, are almost around 4 to 5 lakhs at a max, including the prices of I think visas and your expenses that you want to do here for the documentation, for the temporary housing and everything.
Okay, hope that Nakia has the answer for the same thing. The next question we have received from the Khushi itself. She is asking that did we get the scholarship letter along with the offer letter? So Khushi, for that thing, like first you are getting the offer letter and later we apply for the scholarship, then we are receiving the scholarship letter. Right, After?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, correct, correct. So the next question we are having that can someone of the age of 25 or over can apply for the Italy?
Yes, see, there is a maximum age gap that you can go for any program. If you're coming for masters, after your bachelor's, you can have a gap of almost 6 years. And for bachelor's, you can have after your 12th, you can have a gap of 7 years.
Okay, so this how the gap is going to be accepted. That's fine.
Yes, the gap is
Another
accepted only in case you have to justify. When like you mention your CV and everything, you just need to justify the case why you did not go immediately after your bachelor, like after your 12th.
Mhm. Okay, so the gap should be justifiable, then only we can take up, like we can process with the application with the university, either with the bachelor's or the master's. So
Yes,
proper justification required over there.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, correct. We are having one more question which is related to accommodation. So finding accommodation by your own is easy over there or it is difficult? Like people here, if they will look for the accommodation, they might find the something related to scam or something. So how, like if somebody is opting for off campus, how it will be going to be scheduled, like to check what is the good
Mhm.
location and what will be like in favor of them about the prices and everything. If you could help with that.
Okay. Sure. The thing is, usually what happens is the existing students who are already in that city are going to be helping with the accommodation, and they also help you with the documentation, whatnot that you need to do once you are here. But if someone is going for self accommodation, like they're looking for themselves, there are like platforms online where you can book the accommodations and everything, and you can move on from there.
Okay, okay, okay. So this is how they can look for the accommodation part.
Yep.
Okay, okay. The another question we are receiving from the Khushi itself. I believe that Khushi is having so many questions, so many doubts. She is all
It's
set
fine.
to for the Italy and she is just clearing all her doubts so that she can continue ahead. Okay. Yeah, Khushi.
Sure.
So we have received another question from your end. So it is about that student get internship through the university there.
Yes. Okay, so there are two things I would like to mention in this case. There is one program called Erasmus program, not Erasmus Mundus, but Erasmus Exchange that happens in the EU. In the Erasmus Exchange, there are two types of programs. First one is an exchange semester. Second one is like an internship that is like provided from the university itself. Meeting will be 2 minutes. So during this, like the university is going to provide the internship itself. The we have to apply through the university websites and everything for the internship. And again, for the Erasmus semesters, you can apply through that, and you get the listings and everything. If you're selected, the university takes care of all your expenses. The university pays for your stay, your expenses, and everything for the even exchange semester and for the internship itself.
Okay, okay. So this is how the Erasmus Mundus and Erasmus scholarship works over here.
Yes, not the Erasmus Mundus. The Erasmus Mundus is for India itself and India and like the Asian countries. We are not eligible for the Erasmus Mundus program. We can go for it, but we will not get the fundings for the Erasmus Mundus. So it's like a self-funded program for the European nations.
Okay, okay. So now, ma'am will take care of the next question. So she will be going to ask the further question. Ma'am, please over to you.
I'm so sorry. There was some network glitch from my side. I got stuck in between. Anyways, Aftab, this was a great question. Actually, we receive many queries wherein students have this kind of doubt that what is like, how do we apply for Erasmus and Erasmus Mundus? So, Erasmus exchange program is what we are getting to hear from you for the very first time. But if we talk about Erasmus Mundus, I believe this is very common and a known thing even.
Yes.
Before we move on to Erasmus only and we continue our discussion further for the same thing, we have another question. So, one of our students asking, what's the ideal budget for masters in Italy with and without scholarship in both public and private universities?
Okay, see, first I will go for the private ones. Private universities are costing the same money that you are gonna pay to go to US, UK, or Canada or something. It's more or less like 15 lakhs to 20 lakhs fees for an year. Then you need to pay for your accommodation, your fooding, your documentations, and everything. And if you go for the public universities, it's almost next to zero. Like your personal expense after the first year goes almost up to zero because the university is gonna pay everything and for you, and the university is gonna take care for everything.
All right. So we have another question. We have question from Saeed. So he's asking, can you please tell me after completing the program, how can we find the job and placement out there?
Okay. For the placements, there are two options over here. First thing is like the internship company where you go for. You can ask them if they have an open spot and you can start working with them. Second thing are like the job fairs that the university gives. The university is gonna host job fairs like every semester, and you can go and apply with the company itself. Usually, there are local companies plus a few of the international companies that like are gonna ask you to relocate. So once you're finished with your degree and everything, you can even relocate to another country with a job offer letter itself. Or otherwise, you can find for yourself because there are job portals registered from the government itself, which the university will provide you help to figure out what you can do and what you cannot. And according to it, you can go for it because governmental job portals, you have the surety like you are not scammed out of anything, and you also don't need to pay for any of the job application or anything itself.
All right. So, Aftab, I would like to know over here, does, your universities and all support you in any kind of internship programs or maybe any kind of part-times? Because in generally other countries, there are part-time
Mhm.
jobs like,
Yeah.
assistantship is there, or maybe you can work with your professor,
Yeah.
some or the other is available.
See, ma'am, the thing is, for the internships, the university gives internship in the university itself, along with the professors, as you just mentioned. But for part-time jobs, we have to look for ourselves because the university here, being a public university, they don't go for any tie-ups with any private institutions. So for that, part-time jobs, we have to figure out ourselves. But for the internships and everything, we get all the options for from the university, within the university, out of your country, even like the whole Europe is there to apply for the internships, even for the Erasmus, same thing.
Okay. So, Aftab, also, I would like to know that when do students generally get the stipend? Because, we have been telling students that you will get a good amount of stipend. So, they want to know कि मिलेगा कब? When do they get it actually?
Ma'am, the stipend comes almost 2 to 3 months after you arrive here. So if you come here like in September, you have to stay in the private accommodation for like those 2 to 3 months. After that, within a month or month and a half, you have time like of that time to do the documentation and submit to the university itself. Then the university publishes a list of all the winners who won the accommodation, because the accommodation is always first come first serve. So they give all the students who have got the accommodation. First, you get the accommodation. Then after that, almost about a month, they give out the stipend amount. So almost 2 to 3 months of the time that you come here, you get the scholarship itself.
Okay. So, Aftab, over here, I want to understand one thing. When you went from India, that
Yep.
time I believe you were already holding your scholarship letter.
Yeah.
So, how is this scholarship letter? Because this is what, whatever answer you have just given, people would be wondering that, okay, after going there, then we will have to, fund ourselves for 2 or 3 months in that case,
Yeah.
right? So, and they'll have to stay in the private accommodation as well.
Yeah.
So now I want to understand, like, scholarship letter, the one that you get, how is it used?
Mhm.
Is it not the
Okay.
assurance? Is it not the assurance that you are getting the scholarship, stipend, everything
No,
at that
no.
age?
There is one difference between the scholarship and the scholarship letter. The scholarship letter is a letter mentioning that you have been put into the scholarship list, that you will get the scholarship, but there is a clause saying you have to come here physically and give all your documents to the university. Then only you will get the scholarship. So the letter is only like an assurance that you are in the scholarship and you will get the scholarship, saying a part that you come here on time and you do all the requirements.
Okay. So, Aftab, we have another question. I hope the scholarship part is very much clear. So now I wanted to add another thing to this thing. In case, Aftab, there's so much of noise from background.
Sorry, just a second.
Yeah.
I, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes. So
Yeah.
now the thing is that whosoever is going out there and they are getting these scholarships. So what is the timeline that they have to be there in the university? In case if there's a particular delay in that case, then they are not getting the scholarship. How is it like?
No, they will get the scholarship, but then the scholarship will come delayed because the deadline. Okay, for example, if you come here in September and the deadline is till like 31st of October, you come here any day between those dates and you come do a documentation, give it to the university. The first list is given on 1st of November, like the next day itself when the deadline is finishing. So just at right that time, they give you the accommodation and everything. But if you are not here till 31st of October, you get delayed by any cause. After that, you come here, do the documentation again. They will delay the notices saying the second deadline of 30th of November. You come here, you do it before 30th of November, submit to the university, then your scholarship comes in January. But again, they have another deadline saying we are giving you 15 days more or a month more, like till the end of the year. You get your documentation, you submit to the university, then your scholarship will come in March.
All right. So we have another question. So I want to know that how tough the scholarship is, and do we get 100% scholarship in that case?
See, the scholarship is not difficult, but maintaining the scholarship is a requirement. The scholarship is not given just like, oh, you're coming and we are giving it you for free. No. The first scholarship, they are going to give it to you for free because you are here, you don't have any requirements. But after that, the university tells you, okay, you are a student, we are paying for your education. You have to do some exams so we can know that, yes, you are actually studying here and you are actually here for your studies. So that's the only requirement that the university is going to ask for the scholarship itself. Okay.
Okay. So is there any problem finding any, job out there, a job or maybe internship?
No, ma'am. See, for me, I have been personally working since last 2 years, and I didn't find much difficulties in finding a job. Yes, when I didn't know Italian language, and I was going in the local areas where like they only handle with the Italian people itself. There, I faced a little bit of difficulty, but then once I got familiar with the language and everything, it was quite easy. And secondly, the internships clear. We have multiple websites from the EU, like from the EU region, where the companies post the internship spots, and over there you can apply from directly to the company itself.
All right. So I think you must have also done some kind of internships.
मैं आता हूँ एक दिन घर पे, ठीक है फिर मिलते हैं.
Were they easy? Like was it easy for you to find internships out there in comparison to India? Because in India, it is actually very difficult to find jobs, internships, and all stuff.
No, ma'am, it's not so difficult, honestly, because for me and even for my friends who did the internships and who are still going for the internship itself, they did not face much of a difficulty saying the companies, if you apply to the company, okay, the company directly replies to you if they need an extra observation, an extra meeting that we need to do. It's done directly on the platform itself, and most of the companies at this point they do direct hiring. So you apply to them, they send you an email saying, hey, we are interested in your profile, just give us a short brief about what you have and what you plan to do, about your description, your CV and everything, and they just give you the internships itself.
All right. Okay. So, also, can you please throw some light on the stipend thing that students get stipend completely like whatever amount is there? I think 6 to 7 lakhs is the amount that you get the stipend of 1 year, right?
Yes.
So
Okay,
you
the
get
thing is,
you
sorry,
get
Vincent,
the amount, you get the amount in the entire one go, or how is it like?
no, it's divided in two parts. First, they gave 40% of the whole stipend amount along with the accommodation itself, as I mentioned, within the 2 to 3 months period. And then the other 60% is credited to you once you do your exams. So, January, February is the time of exams, the first semester. Once you do at least two exams, they give you the second deposit after like a month. Like in February, you finish with your exams, almost around March to April, they give you the rest amount.
Okay.
And depending upon the city, because if you move towards the south, because in the south the cost of living is quite cheaper than compared to the north. So in the north they give you exactly 7,200 euros, that's mentioned, almost like 7 lakhs, 7 lakhs 75 lakhs. And in the south, when you move down here, because the cost of living is cheaper, they give almost 5.5 to around 6 lakhs.
Okay. So now can you please also tell one more thing? For the first 3 months, because as you rightly said that it will take
Mhm.
nearly 2 to 3 months for the
Yeah.
person to, have the scholarship reflected in their account and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So for the first 3 months, student will have to take care of both accommodation and the tuition fees by themselves only.
Not the tuition fees. The tuition fees is completely cut off from the very beginning. The only thing that you have to pay is for the accommodation and for your own fooding. That's it.
Okay. And is local language necessary for our daily routine in Italy? Again, the same question. Everyone has this kind of question in like they are asking this. Aftab, you are on mute.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying in the current time, it's not mandatory to learn the local language. If you can learn, it's a benefit for you. If you cannot, it's completely survivable in English itself because people now are speaking in English all over the Italy itself.
Okay. And Aftab, how much actually does the part-time job cost a student? Like, I think we can work up to 20 hours out there in Italy, or how is it like?
No, it says legally you are allowed for 20 hours, but you can work full time itself because a lot of us we have been working full time over here. Like we once we finish with the semesters and everything, we get the time like the breaks in between, and those break time we can work full time over here. So in that time, you can easily make around almost 1,600 to 2,000 euros a month in full time, and part time almost 800 to 1,000 euros easily.
Okay. And if we talk about the, living expenses out there, so what will be the
Mhm.
average cost of living over there for a month? And then how much will it cost for at least for 3 months? How much did it costed you basically?
Okay, for me, personally saying it's almost around 35 to 40K INR a month in a rental accommodation with my fooding including. But I'm in the south, so it's a bit cheaper for me. Going towards in the north, towards Rome, Milan, and the bigger cities, there the cost of living is a bit higher than us. So in those cities, I can say almost 700 euros a month, like 60 to 70,000 INR a month is like justified enough for every month.
So I hope now you must have also understood that why we asked you to show, the show funds in your bank account.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
generally, after generally students are having that kind of doubt and a myth also, I would say that if we are getting 100% scholarship, we are getting stipend and,
Mhm.
our hostel, medical facilities and everything is being covered, then why do we have to show funds in our bank account?
Okay, for the funds also, there is a specific thing I would like to mention. The scholarship is maintained, is given by another body. Like it's the regional government that's giving you the scholarship. And the university part, the visa part, is all done by the university itself. And in this thing, the legal procedures go such that you have to show the bank deposit, the bank balance of at least like every minimum of this year, almost around 6,000 or 6,500 euros of every year, saying that you can host yourself for the expenses once you are here. Okay, but the scholarship, the clause is again, scholarship is given after you come here. So before you are coming, there is this thing that you are not still on the scholarship list. So you have to show that you can sustain yourself over here. But once you are here, you apply, you give the documents to the university, and then the university gives you the scholarship. So there's in this gap, you have to show your own fundings, your own bank balance, saying that you can sustain yourself, but it's not mandatory to use it. Even people, I know a few of my friends who even took like education loan to show the bank statements and everything. And once they were here, they just gave back the whole money in one go and they were good.
Good enough. So I hope this answers most of the questions in that case. Aftab, also I would like to know, see, for Italy, I know how your process was entirely, but generally
Uh-huh.
students have this kind of doubt that why should we start the process that very quickly at this point of time? If I talk about UK, if I talk about other destinations, if we do our application maybe in the month of April also, still we are
Hmm.
good to go enough. But in
Yeah.
case of Italy, why is it that very mandatory to start our process very quickly?
Okay. So the thing is, in UK, Canada, US, or like any other country, they don't have any deadlines. You apply today, you can even get this offer letter tomorrow itself. But over here in Italy, they work with deadlines and they are giving specific number of seats. So according to them, we have to apply, and there is always options for like early bird applications because as soon as the seats are gonna fill up, the university is gonna close the admissions. So that's why we have to be early so that we can get ourselves in those reserved seats. Otherwise, if the seats gets full, then we won't be able to apply anymore because the top universities specifically they start very early. Like even right now, half of the applications are already closed. Like the early birds applications, they open, they close. Now the first normal call has been started. So now they are working with the seats registrations and everything. So now if we apply as quick as of right now, we can get ourselves in those seats and we don't have to worry later about not getting an application, not getting an offer letter from them.
Right, right. I hope all the students who are there in this webinar today, they must have understood why we have been telling them that you have to start your process that very quickly. Anyways, before we move on further, see, we are about to end this webinar even. So what I would suggest is those of you who have joined right now, please start dropping your questions very quickly in the chat box so that we can take it up. In case if someone is not able to write, you can raise your hand and then we can unmute you in that case so that you can talk to Aftab. All right. So moving on to another question that we have is like, which city is best for these students? What would you suggest out here, Aftab?
For students, I would say any city in the north is quite good because there you have international exposure, international companies, and everything. So it's a good option you can get over there.
Okay. So if we talk about Aftab, the visa process and everything, uh, likewise, was it difficult for you to find a visa slot out there for, Italy's things?
So I could understand the ma'am. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna join back. It's actually raining outside over here.
All right, not a problem. Yeah,
Just
please.
1 second. Sorry.
No problem. So, guys, in case if you have any doubts, any queries, you want to ask something from Aftab, just please drop in your question very quickly, or you can raise your hand also. We can unmute you. If the question is small, we can ask you to unmute and then you can ask. Okay. All right. So, Aftab, I want to know another thing from you. When you would have started with your study abroad process, like you started with us, so what do you think, Aftab? Like, was it easy for you to, rely on a consultant? You must have gone to various consultants, asking them about,
Mm-mm.
process for Italy and all. So, were you
Sure,
reluctant
ma'am.
in that case that why should I pay? Why shouldn't I pay? That kind of thing.
No, ma'am. See, for me, the thing was I had to go with someone who could explain me the whole thing, and that thing I got from the team itself. So that was my first thing because I went to like quite a lot of consultancies and everything, even for other countries and whatnot. But again, the thing in the end came towards who can explain me the best what the procedure is and how can I actually do it. So that was the best thing for me. Like when I got the complete explanation of how other things work, how they are gonna give me the scholarship, how they're gonna do my application, how and what I need to take up for my visas and everything. That was like best thing for me. And according to it, I went with the Abroademy and it hit me quite good.
Thank you, Aftab, for this and for the trust that you have in us. I would rather say that. So, Aftab, I wanted to also know that when you went for your visa interview, how tough was it? Because, people have this kind of doubt that if a country is giving fully funded scholarship and tuition fees and everything is free. So,
Mhm.
the thing is that the interview would be very difficult in that case.
No, ma'am. The thing is, there is this misconception about the visa interview. For the visa interview, there is nothing of a difficult thing. The profile, you're like, when a person is going for the visa, it's basic that you're going to read all the documents that you're going to give. Okay. The visa interview is conducted only on the documents that you are giving to them. The most important thing is to like read the statement of purpose, like the SOP we put saying why do you want to go to Italy, why this course, what have you done, what are your goals, what are your ambitions and everything. For that thing, you can read and go for the interview, and they ask you nothing other than that. Like some people might have this misconception, like saying, "Oh, if I go for the interview, they will start asking me questions about the academics. Ki, tell me about Newton's law. Tell me about this thing. Tell me about that thing." Nothing like that just happens. It's just like the interview is for like the basic introduction that you know what you're applying for, like the basic things that you actually did you even read your profile, like did you read your documents what you are submitting. It's just for that.
All right, Aftab. So, Aftab, I wanted to know, like, this point is pretty much clear. So,
Mm-hmm.
students generally face this kind of hurdle only when they go for the interview round now. So, they have this kind of misconception, I would rather say, that they would be asked the toughest questions, or, they will have to answer some kind of questions which they are even not aware of. So, any
No.
question related to your family income, any question related to your, funds part was being asked in your visa interview.
No, ma'am. For the funds and anything, they don't ask you anything because the statement that you're giving to them, it's already mentioned from where did that money come from. For example, if someone like, okay, let's say if someone's family made a sale of a property, okay, so there should be the deposit is going to be written saying this money came from this person of this much amount, okay, and it goes according to it the same thing. But if say someone is taking a loan, an education loan, the loan amount is given is like distributed to the account itself, the personal account, and there's mentioned saying this much amount is given by like an IMPS transaction made by IDBI Bank or HDFC Bank for mentioning the loan amount number, like loan specific ID and everything. So it's already self justified that where the amount is coming from. If they can ask about the financials, they will ask you a second, they will send you a letter or an email mentioning please justify the amount, please justify the transactions that you have shown in the visa. So in that case you just need to like get an affidavit saying this much money was like saved by my father or my mother through their workings, like just because of that there's like ITRs that also we submit. If someone's having a business, they also go for like their business bank statements, their personal bank statements, the business documentation, the ITRs, and everything. So according to it, it's already self-justified in the first one itself. But if the university needs something, they will send you an email saying just justify it. In us, in short, you get an affidavit, you send it to them, and it's done.
Okay. So, Aftab, are there any particular deadlines for the DOV, and how much time does it take for the DOV and other things to get sorted?
See, usually the DOV is done along with the visa itself, and the visa and the DOV comes together. It's like dispatched all together itself. But for some cities, if I'm not wrong, I think in Chennai, there is this thing that they have to go for the DOV before they apply for the visa.
Okay.
Yeah. So for that thing, there is not such a requirement. You can apply for them together. But for Chennai, I think you need to apply it before. Like even you can go like apply one day before your visa. Like tomorrow is your visa. Today you go and submit your DOV, and tomorrow you can attach the receipt of the DOVs along with your visa itself. So it's not an issue.
All right. Okay. And what about SEMIA? Did you had to go for SEMIA, or did you go for DOV only?
No, I personally went for DV only because I made some friends at the offices, the people who were working there. I got to know them. So they helped me out with the whole process. So it was not such of a difficulty for me because saying SEMIA takes almost around 2 months to come.
Okay.
So it's a lengthy process and plus it's expensive.
Expensive. It costs 35,000, I believe.
Yes, exactly. So that's
Yeah.
like an add on fees from your own pockets to get that done.
Right. So, Aftab, you went for your bachelor's. You had to
Yes.
take your TOLC exam as well, right?
Yes.
So,
Before, for me, okay, sorry to interrupt, ma'am.
no problem.
For me, the thing is, when I applied, they didn't ask me for my policy before coming here. I got completely on my 12 mark sheets and everything. But once I was here, the rules changed. And after coming here, like after my first year finished, they asked me to give a TOEFL, and it was not mandated like I have to score this much because I was already here. They were like, it's just a requirement. Give a TOEFL exam. Whatever you get, it's completely fine. Just give us a certificate that you did the exam. So for me, it was easier. But for now, the people who are coming for like IT basis course, their exams got changed. For now, it's sense. It's similar to TOEFL. I am personally guiding few of my friends who are going for the sense exam. I saw their exams and everything. It's not so difficult than TOEFL.
So how much
So
does
it's
it
quite
cost?
easy to do it.
Okay, sorry. How much does it cost?
Third, the fees is I think 30 or 35 euros. In INR, it's almost 3,000, 3,500.
Okay, all right. And you must have taken the IELTS exam as well, Aftab, when you were
Yes.
planning for the process.
Yeah.
How about your IELTS exam? Like, how did you prepare for it?
Personally, ma'am, I just took like a coaching from one of my friend's dad. He works with the MNCs and everything. So he just gave me the basics of how to go, how to like the formal writing methods and all.
Aftab, you're not audible somehow. Hello? Aftab, can you hear me? I've lost you in between. Hmm. Aftab?
Hello.
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yeah. So I personally took coaching from my friend's dad. He works with the consulates and everyone. So he just gave me the basics of how to go, how to like the formal writing methods and all those things. That's like basic thing. Even if you look up on YouTube, you can get them. I just did that for like a month, and then I went for the IELTS exam.
All right. So, Aftab, we have one question from Naval. He would like to ask you something. I'm just asking him to unmute.
Sure.
Naval, just please keep your question very small, no? Naval, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, tell me.
Hello. How is the economic over there? And it is good for some marketing to go.
It is. It is. Few of my friends, they came here for like the MBA program, which we say the MBA. It is called MBA, but over here they call it International Management. They came here for that course. They are working in marketing firms in quite a good company. They are making quite a good amount of money at this point. Even my best friend, she is working in a company. She moved to Austria right now. Like she got the offer from Austria. She moved there and she's working with the marketing firm.
Okay. So, one last question now, Aftab. Firstly, I would request you to please show your campus or wherever you are right now to our, students who have joined us today.
Sure, ma'am. Thing is, right now I'm not in that campus because it was quite early in the morning and today's Saturday, so not
Okay.
much things are working over here. If
No problem.
a second, I was. This is my city. It's quite raining, gloomy, but yeah, we're just here next to the sea itself. So yeah.
Nice. So, is the accommodation given, like, is it provided by the university itself, or did you find it by your own self?
No, this year I'm not staying in the accommodation of the university because my girlfriend comes and goes sometimes, so it's quite
Okay.
difficult to host her.
All
So for
right.
that, I am renting this year.
Okay. So, you have an Italian girlfriend or an Indian one?
No, she's Italian.
That's great. So, you must be learning Italian from her then.
Yes, thanks to her also, but like more or less the almost all the Italian that I learned since the beginning was through working itself and self learning.
Yeah, right, right, true. So that's nice, Aftab. It was nice having you today. Guys, if anyone has any other question, you can please quickly ask. Otherwise, it's time to say bye to Aftab. I think we don't have any furthermore questions. So thank you so much, Aftab, for joining in today. And it was a
You're
great
welcome, ma'am.
session. And in case if anyone has any other question, so guys, I would request you, we are opening the breakout rooms. You can just reach out to the counselors and you can clear all your doubts, whatever you have. Thank you, Aftab, for joining in.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Have a great day.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.
So, guys, I have opened the breakout rooms. If you have any other questions, you can please start reaching out to the counselors, and then we can assign the breakout rooms even to you. So you have the chance to unmute yourself, and in case if you have something to say, you can just let us know even. Nothing?
Nice webinar.
Thank you so much. So, Ayan, I think if you have any question, you can just reach out to the counselor and then you can clear your doubts in that case. See, guys, it is not a sales webinar at all. So, we are just here to clear your doubts so that you get best of the guidance from wherever you are starting with your process or you will start with your process.
Thank you, Abroademy, for this great webinar. Thank you.
Yeah, so hello guys, I'm audible.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any questions regarding? I guess your all questions or queries has been solved by the student itself, but still, if you have any query, you can ask to me.
So I believe there are no further questions. I believe no one is having any query or anything. Then we are just ending up with this webinar. Thank you guys for joining in, and it was great having all of you here. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a great day.